Did you used to work at a store with Kaz from Love Island?
Yo, how did you know that? How could you even possibly know that? Pictures? How? Nah. Who did you call? You called someone. Wow, you're good.
What's up, y'all? I'm Speedy, and the name of this show is 360 with Speedy, and today I am joined by Nigerian, London-born, LA-living Damson Idris. Damson, what's up, man? How are you?
I'm blessed, man. Thank you for having me.
Of course, bro. I feel like I kind of been living a lie because your real name is not Damson.
Wow, you're good. It's actually Adamson. That's the name I was born with. And then my mom just changed it from really young. She was just like, yeah, I'm gonna change it to Damson.
Why? Was there any reason, or?
I don't want to say why, but
Okay.
She changed it, man. Adam would have been kind of cool though. Like Adam means the father of all nations. You know, it's a strong name. I'm also named after my grandfather.
Okay, fire.
And my mom had this amazing dream. She saw my granddad and in the dream, and then he gets on a plane to London, and she's like, why are you coming? You don't have a visa, like you don't have a passport. And he's like, no, I'm British. And she's like, what do you mean? It's like, no, yeah, you're pregnant right now, and you're gonna name that child after me. I'm British. She goes to the scan, 4 months pregnant.
Damn.
Yeah.
This was destiny then.
Yeah.
It was written.
Allah de bo.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so Damson it is. I feel like Damson kind of fits you a little more though. Plus it's more swag than Adamson, I think.
It is, yeah.
It's definitely more swag.
I need glasses if it's Adamson.
No, that's a fact. We are a long way from Peckham here at this undisclosed location. Peckham, Pecknam is what they call it.
You're good.
Why do they call it Pecknam?
You know why. It's a name that we all just came up with being from there. You know, the legacy of that city has created so many amazing artists, from Giggs to John Boyega, hopefully to myself, and it just continues, you know. But we all remember where we came from, and we scream it as loud as possible, however far we go.
Yeah. Let's rewind then to back where you came from, Dursley Court.
Sorry, I'm impressed. Sorry.
What do you remember about those days, man? Young Damson.
Running around the block. Giggs knew me like since I was like a kid. Like, so I moved out of Peckham when I was like 10, 11. I moved to a place called Woolly Road. And Giggs would always say today, he'd be like, yeah, your dad used to drive me in a cab, like, and I used to see you always running around. And I used to love that area because despite the themes of police brutality and racism and fatherless homes and drugs, as kids, you never saw any of it. It was like we were in paradise. It's only when we got older that we realized, oh wow, we were living in an absolute war zone. And it just really makes me appreciate how far I've come today. If I go back to ends today, nothing's the same.
Nothing's the same.
Everything's gone.
Damn. Does that feel like it's a rebirth in a good way, or does it feel like, damn, they came through and ran through what was once my home?
It's both, really. I mean, I look at the kids growing up there today and I'm like, man, you lot are so lucky. You know, you get to go to school, you get to go home, you ain't seeing that person lying on the ground. Yeah. I kind of like it. It's real hard to be a gangster when there's a Starbucks on your block, you know?
No, that's a fact. That's a great quote, too. It's hard to be a gangster when there's a Starbucks on your block.
It's true.
But before acting, football, or what we call soccer, was your thing.
You can call it football. Football's fine.
We'll call it soccer, but you can call it.
We can both call it football. I mean, we'll call yours a fingerball, like handball. Handball, yeah.
Well, we'll say soccer. But soccer, football was your sport.
Yeah.
And that was like your passion, and that's what you thought was going to be it all for you. But I think to a certain degree, this TV and movie stuff was perhaps all destiny because of Beckham's Hot Shot.
Oh, yeah. You're really
What can you
good.
tell us about Beckham's Hot Shots?
Beckham's Hot Shots, wow. Beckham's Hot Shots was a CBBC show that I went on when I was like 12 or 11 years old. And David Beckham grabbed 20 kids, took us to some undisclosed location and had us like training with the hope that 10 of us would go to Spain and train with him. And hundreds of thousands of kids sent tapes in. And I was so good that I made it down to the 20. Didn't make it down to the 10.
Damn.
Made it down to the 20. And I was a huge Beckham supporter. I'm a Man United fan. I hate Arsenal. hate Chelsea, hate Tottenham, hate everyone in the Premier League except for Manchester United. So Beckham was like a big deal for me.
Yeah.
And then I ran into him later on at Fashion Awards. I was introduced to him. He was like, "Oh, mate, I love your show, da-da-da-da-da." And I was like, "Man, I was on Beckham's Hot Shots." And he was like, "Oh, mate, you're making me show me age now." It was really cool. It was a full circle moment. And yeah, like you said, at that time, had no idea that I wanted to be an actor. No idea. And I played football up until the age of, I want to say, 19, 20, you know? So I came into this acting thing like really late,
Yeah.
you know? And I was really raw. I still am, but I'm learning as I'm going, and I'm a sponge. Above all things, the thing I tell kids is respect the game and respect people that came before you. We're standing on the shoulders of giants, truly.
Yeah. Before acting came, you did a small stint as a stand-up comedian in Leicester Square.
Oh my gosh, I did. It was horrible. It was so bad.
What was a stand-up set from Damson Idris like back then?
First of all, I got up there and I was talking in an American accent. I don't know who told me to talk in an American accent.
So you been had the American accent?
Oh, Ben had it. Because
Okay.
I love Def Comedy Jam. So when I was younger, I would watch Def Comedy Jam 24/7. So I got up there and the first joke was, "Man," it's Valentine's Day too. I was like, "Man, there's some beautiful girls in the crowd right now, man. Beautiful girls." And then everyone started clapping. And I was like, "Whoa, not all y'all." And like the guys, the guys were laughing, but there was more women in the crowd. And yeah, I was supposed to be up there for 10 minutes. By 1 minute, 20 seconds, I said, "Hi, I'm Damson, that's my time."
That's my time, yeah. Thank you.
I ran off the stage, man.
And that was the end of the stand-up comedy career.
Legit came off the stage. My brothers, they were like, "You did good." I was like, "I didn't do good. I'm never gonna do this ever again. I'm gonna be a serious actor. Watch." I went drama school, identity drama school. I went Brunel University, so I got a degree in drama and TV film studies. And again, yeah, it was just a sponge. I did my first play. Agents came, they saw me. They were like, "You remind me of a young Will Smith." I was like, "I know who that is. Fresh Prince, right? Bad Boys?" Signed me up. And then the ball was in my court. You know, they made me audition, and it's my job to apply myself and get the roles. And everything led to today.
Yeah. You say everything leads to today. Life is kind of like a chain reaction, and sometimes you just need one domino to fall to spark the rest. And for you, somehow, some way, a role as Hakeem led you to Snowfall.
Yes.
Can you walk? Also, it's the name of your nephew, I believe.
You are amazing, bro.
How did that Hakeem domino fall and
Okay.
lead you to Snowfall?
So Hakeem was a character I played alongside a brilliant actor by the name of Riz Ahmed in London.
Legend.
It was a movie called City of Tiny Lights. And I probably had 2 scenes in that movie. The reason why I say it led me to today is because when I booked Snowfall the same year it was out, the money they paid me in that movie was so small that it was just enough for me to afford a flight and an Airbnb on Melrose. So if I didn't do that movie, I never would have been able to afford to come to America to even audition for Snowfall. It's actually really interesting.
Damn, look at that. That's God's plan.
It is.
You hadn't been to America yet up until that point. What did you think of or know of America at that point? Like a young, ignorant, never traveled to America Damson. What stereotypes turned out to be true, and maybe which ones were like, no, I was way off on that?
I thought there was a lot of people walking around looking like Brad Pitt with like blonde hair and
Blue eyes.
It's like, "Hey, bro, what up, man? Welcome to America." But that wasn't the case. Thankfully, I was kind of well versed because of the movies. You know, Brits are so climatized to American culture, and there's videos of me at 5 years old saying my favorite movie is Bad Boys. So I was coming to America, and I was interested in that. One thing that I wasn't privy to was, you know, like the gang culture and just like how big that is out here, and how, yeah, like I'm from the hood, but I can come to America and there's certain things I need to know. You know, don't wear that color, don't do that, don't do that. And that was stuff I was kind of learning along the way.
Yeah. The audition process, though, for you was not easy for Snowfall, and you've said it, you know, the late, great John Singleton would test you and bring you to places and say, just survive, and you get it. You also had to audition quite a few times.
Yeah.
How many times in total was it?
I want to say it was like 8 times.
8 times.
Yeah, and I had the role by audition number 2.
But he was just stringing you along? What was going on?
Singleton was not trying to cast me, He was like, well, you're British, stay over there, Peckham. But like, I would audition. Everyone would be like, yo, this is the guy. Be like, no, wait, let me see a couple more people. All right, bring him back, make him audition again. I would audition. This is the guy. Oh, wait, bring him in. And you're seeing everyone. A bunch of actors who are brilliant today, who are doing great things today, audition for Franklin. I want to say everyone that you know today who's like doing something, audition for Franklin.
Like who?
I ain't gonna say no names, but they audition for Franklin. So it's this testimony of how much FX believed in me, how much I believed in me, and eventually how much Singleton believed in me.
You spoke about this Airbnb in Melrose, Stanley Ave.
That's true, yeah.
Do you ever go drive past it and go look at it?
I haven't, man, but you know what? I've been thinking about it so much, and I hope the guy that let me stay in his place is still there, because he would help me learn my lines before the audition.
Really? Tell me about that.
He would be like, hey, you want to be an actor, bro? Yeah, I'll help you read these lines, bro. Like, every single character he would read, like Jerome, Sissy, Aunt Louie, everyone. And the next day I'd go audition, I'd come back and be like, how was it? I'd be like, I killed it, thank you. So I may have to drive by there and drop off a check like one day, maybe.
Just hit him off with a little something.
A little something.
Your Airbnb hosts help you practice your lines though, that's dope.
Yeah.
Why were you eating so much Johnny Rockets at this time?
I was broke. But also, it's not even because of that. That place is delicious, man. Like, there's a lot of places I love out here that Americans don't like. I really, really love Johnny Rockets.
I fuck with Johnny Rockets.
I love KFC.
I fuck with KFC too.
I love McDonald's.
I'm just kidding.
And what's the other place I love out here? I love TGI Fridays.
Oh, TGI Fridays, that's like an American staple. Like,
but you guys don't like TGI Fridays.
I haven't eaten there in quite some time.
TGI Fridays is banging.
Under what circumstances do you pull up to a TGI Fridays?
In a hoodie and a mask.
But you don't sit down and eat in there.
No.
You take it to go.
I take it to go. They don't call it that anymore. It used to be called the Jack Daniel Wings, but now it's called...
I remember those, wow.
I think it's called Friday Special now or something like that.
Okay.
But I get the wings, 5-piece, get some ribs, some fries, Coke,
I used to fuck with these little potato skins they had with some sour cream and chives on it.
We need to bring TGI back, man.
That would be an amazing
it paved the way for
organic sponsorship for you. A TGI Fridays deal. You could be the first ever ambassador for TGI Fridays.
I don't know, maybe. Maybe something a little more high-end.
All right, little Nobu, perhaps.
Maybe higher. I'm playing.
Mr. Chow's.
Maybe Carbone.
Carbone.
Carbone's my favorite restaurant. Yeah. Carbone.
You also live downtown at the Level.
Whoa! How could you even possibly know that? Pictures?
I just do my research. But that was a time you also lived there with another cast member.
Yeah, Isaiah.
And you would run into each other quite some time.
Isaiah John. So Isaiah John was living at the Level, and I knew that Leon was Franklin's best friend. And I was like, man, I don't know this guy. I need to build this chemistry with him. So I was like, yo, where you living? I'm looking for a place in LA while we shoot these seasons. He's like, I'm staying here. I got a place there immediately. I love that place. Like, that place is fire. And then
basketball court, all that.
I was about to say how you say. I was about to say basketball court. Basketball. Basketball.
Basket.
But I used to love that place. And then, randomly, it kind of got kind of crazy. So I left.
So you had to leave.
Yeah.
The show, though, obviously, smash hit.
Thank you.
Season 6 at this point. I know people come up to you all the time and say that they love it and they're fans, but I'm wondering, who were one of the first people that surprised you? Maybe not someone that is a part of our culture that we would expect, like a Jay-Z, but maybe somebody that you're like, you watch Snowfall? Interesting.
Mick Jagger.
Mick Jagger. What?
Mick Jagger. I went to a party in London with Numi Rapace. So I'm saying names right now. I'm gonna pick a couple up, but Mick Jagger was there and he's like, I love your show, mate. And he's dancing and everything. And I was like, yo, this is Mick Jagger.
Whoa.
That was a big moment. There's been a bunch of people like that, though. Like, Sam Jackson was a huge one. Like, I saw Sam Jackson at the governor's party night before the Oscars, and he was just singing my praises, man. And I was just like, wow, this is Sam Jackson.
I imagine that happens to you frequently, though, that people see you and say, oh, Franklin.
Yeah.
And a lot of people have interesting relationships with their first major role because it's hard for them at times to shed that name, right? You think of people like Carlton from The Fresh Prince or Urkel, you know? What's the relationship like with you and Franklin and hearing that on a day-to-day? Do you mind it? Do you prefer people call you Damson?
I actually like it. The reason why I like it is because it proves to me that I have a lot of work to do, right? It proves to me that I have a legacy to build. It proves to me that there's so much longer on this journey that I need to go. And that's exciting to me, you know? I feel like you get to a place where you no longer become the things you've done. You are just this icon on this platform. Oh, that's Idris Elba. Oh, that's Brad Pitt, you know?
Right.
I still don't think I've reached a place where I'm like, that's Damson Idris. And that excites me because it lets me know that I've got some work to do.
That's a great perspective. I like that. Obviously, you live here now full-time, maybe?
I dabble, like I'm all over the world.
Okay.
You know?
Is it true that Jay-Z was a reference for you
How could you possibly know that?
for your green card?
Did I say that? He was. But did I say that?
How does that conversation go? Do you ask Jay-Z? Does he offer that up? Like, how does that?
Hell, they offer that up. No, I had to ask. But he's done many things for me over the years. He's always supported me. He supports everyone. He supports so many people that you don't even know. Like, genuinely, I should tell everyone this right now. If you ever run into Jay-Z, just say thank you and keep it moving.
And
Because he is definitely a pioneer of the culture, but of everything. And I've never told him this, but he's a huge idol of mine. Thank you for that reference. I won't tell you how it happened, but yeah, because there's a couple more favors that I'm gonna need in the future. But yeah, he hooked me up with that. Rich Paul did too. Tommy Shlami, Eric Amadio. No, not Eric Amadio. Blanking on his name, bloody hell. Eric Schreier. Sorry, Schreier. Yeah, a bunch of people hooked me up. You know, they're people who just believe in me, believe on this journey that I'm on. And yeah, I'm gonna repay the favor to the people come behind me too.
Fire. Was it an easy ask, or did you have to beg, or it's just like, yo, you got me, and they're like, yeah, we got you.
No. Like, I asked Jay like through his man like OG like you know like those guys are really like my big brothers, like to the point I'll be in Miami at like 12 a.m. I'm like, yo, I want to go Carbone. And then they'll have me on FaceTime, like, Ho would be like, yo, Damson, you got to win a couple more Emmys before you could call me at 11:30. You know? And then boom, like that, reservation made, you know? It's amazing to have giants like that who have your back.
Yeah. You've been known to always stay private on a lot of personal things. So I'm curious as to why you chose to not keep your relationship and your love life private.
I don't know. I guess I'm just growing. I'm just learning. I'm not letting certain things affect me, and I'm also understanding that life is life and that social media is social media. Sometimes you may do different things. Sometimes you may act out of touch sometimes, but you learn. People are able to look at those choices and learn. With my private life today, with my relationship today, it's great. Life is great, and I'm just moving forward.
Was it tough for you guys to keep it a secret?
Yeah. It is tough to keep those things a secret, but you know our lives are under a magnifying glass.
Like this.
Exactly, and people need to understand that people are people. People in the public eye are people. But yeah, as I said, it's great and life is great.
She posted a card that you wrote her for Valentine's Day, and it spoke about 100 days prior in a silver dress. I guess that's an encounter you guys had.
Yeah.
What do you remember about a night like that?
It's great. Life is great. Yeah.
Professional.
Very, very professional. Yeah.
Okay.
And great.
As long as it's great.
Life is great.
Is it great or is it great?
It's great.
I can see the greatness on your face when you guys take pictures, and you just look great.
Yeah. It's great. Life is great.
Salute to greatness one time for it.
That's all we want.
Shout out to greatness.
We just want greatness.
Representation in film and television, obviously extremely important, and a lot of people will look to you, young people will look to you and be like, wow, I can do it too because Damson did it. What did the black guy from the I Can't Believe It's Not Butter commercial do for you?
How? Nah. Who did you call? You called someone. That's really weird, you know? All right, cool. Raw. I was playing for a football team called Peckham All-Stars. Yo, that is scary. Anyway, I was playing for a team called Peckham All-Stars. It's a funny name, but they had some ballers there. But we were all in the hoods, and like hardly anyone really blew up because we didn't have the resources to.
Yeah.
If we did, those guys would be Premier League, whatever. That guy popped in one day and was just watching us play football, and everyone was losing their minds. And he was only on a butter commercial. That just lets you know like how deprived we were. But seeing him motivated me, to be on TV, to follow a path of somewhat stardom, whether that was through acting or football.
Damn, that's special, man. Just from a butter commercial.
Just from a butter.
So now imagine what a role like Franklin can do for somebody who's from Peckham or from somewhere in America where they know someone who is Franklin in their life.
Honestly, man, like to go back to the topic of social media and just how sometimes you could have negativity, that's the stuff that completely eradicates that. When I'm hearing that kids are using Franklin monologues to get into drama school, when I'm hearing that people are watching Snowfall to get through their bid, when I'm hearing parents reaching out to me on social media saying, you are my son's idol, thank you for existing, I can never ever care about any negativity from a small group of people. And that's why I say to everyone, joy and happiness, keep showing it. A lot of people think, oh man, I can't show that I'm having such an amazing life because I'm gonna get all this hate and da-da-da-da-da. No, we need more of that because a lot of people are hurting, and I promise you, way more people than not appreciate that, and that's the stuff that's getting them through it.
Yeah, very well said. Let's talk about denial and rejection for a second, because the journey of life is not always cut and dry, and there are things that we often think are for us, but maybe aren't God's plan or aren't what is meant for us. And you've had roles I'm sure you've won out for that you didn't get. One particularly being Star Wars.
Wow, yeah.
John Boyega wound up getting that instead, and I know that was an interesting turning point for your career because something happened and you told yourself an important lesson at that moment. What can you tell us about like wanting something so bad and maybe just not being ready for it at that time?
Wow. Again, it's God's plan. I got far into the testing stages of Star Wars to play that character, and the very same year, I booked Snowfall. So I believe God was just creating room for me to be able to do that. I will say there's going to be many ups and downs in this industry as an actor. Singleton would tell me, everyone you meet on the way up, you're going to meet on the way down. So that's how I approach everything. I don't need any ego. I don't need to walk in a room and be like, well, I gave the world 60 hours. I don't need to say that. Everything is a test. I will always have something to prove, more enough to myself. And as long as a young kid starting out has that in their mind and moves with humility, they'll go further than anyone else.
What can you say is the importance of being ready for something? Because for one of the particular auditions for Star Wars, maybe you weren't ready, or maybe your accent wasn't exactly where it needed to be at that time.
Did I speak about this? Anyway, so what happened was I had the audition, and I'd read the whole audition with a Southern accent, right? And they loved it. And they threw a curveball on me on the last audition and was like, hey, make it more general. And I wasn't prepared for that. And, again, it's just about picking up tools, Jamie Foxx says it so amazingly when he's like, his grandma taught him how to play piano, and then boom, it led to him being ready for Ray. You know, I think just applying yourself on your downtime is something I preach to so many young people. Right now, I'm trying to learn the saxophone. Like, there's no reason for me to be learning the saxophone, but it may come into play in the future.
Sure. And it's great to be well-rounded, you know, and
Exactly.
know how to dabble in a bunch of different things. You're seemingly good friends with Tyler, the Creator. I saw you guys together hanging out at the Rock Nation brunch, London, red carpet. He's taking pictures of you. I'm wondering, is his public persona accurate as to who he actually is as a person?
Spot on. Sorry, Tyler. Spot on. Spot on. He's a great guy. He's hilarious. You'll introduce Tyler to someone important, and then randomly he'd be like, "Yeah, me and Damson take bubble baths together," and you're like, "Whoa, no, we don't." He's just like that, man. But what I'll say about Tyler, the Creator, is he is the utmost artist and talent of our time. Any artist should be completely privileged to be working with him. He is a true rock star, and I'm proud to be able to call him a friend. Yeah.
Do you find inspiration in one another, even though your mediums aren't exactly the same?
100%. We always bounce ideas off each other. And, you know, he pulled up to the premiere this year. He came to the rap party also. And we just sat in the corner, and he was just like, you know, it's no elephant in the room that we've gone 6 seasons without being, like, truly acknowledged by the higher ups when it comes to awards. And it's a conversation that many people in our community have with regards to Snowfall specifically. So we spoke about that, you know. He spoke about his journey in music and how that also led to him, you know, wanting to be accepted at the Grammys or wanting to be accepted at the BET, but realizing that stuff doesn't really matter. What matters is the people and how the people take it, and the people love Snowfall.
Do you want those accolades?
If they come, they come. It's out of my power, really. The most important thing is that those platforms make everyone feel welcomed. It's not really about getting on stage and giving a speech and winning and being like, look at me, especially when you're getting up there and they're giving it to you because you fit a category or you're in a community or, you know, you want to be up there because you were the dopest.
Right.
I do anyway. But it's just about seeing people in a room that are like us and, yeah, making everyone feel welcome, making everyone feel like we're a part of this thing. There's many amazing actresses who will never get to put on a dress and walk on a red carpet, and that's a problem, you know? That's the way we could better the actor industry.
Have you ever practiced what that speech might sound like when you get up there?
No.
You don't be in the mirror like, all right, and now I'm going to say this.
No, never.
And then I'm going to thank my mom second, and then I'm God first. And...
I did. I actually did it the other day with the NAACP Awards, and I didn't win, so yeah, it was interesting. But
did you actually practice the speech and then go and not win?
You have something in your head that you're going to say. And funny enough, I don't know if other actors notice, but there is a slight relief that you have when you don't win. Because it's like, oh man, I don't need to get up in front of all these people and give this speech. But yeah, again, just being there and just appreciating everyone, appreciating this business that was created for everyone to be a part of and thrive in. That's all that matters.
Did you used to work at a store with Kaz from Love Island?
Yo, how did you know that? I did.
Was it a shoe store or what type of store was it?
It was a shoe store, man. I was there for 3 years. It was called Shoe. SCHUH.
H?
H in the UK. You guys say H. I know. My accent. SCHUH. It was a shoe store. I was there for 3 years, man, handing out size 8s. It was funny because, you know, we talk about tools. We had to learn a script, and you had to follow it accordingly. That was prepping me for acting. Didn't know I wanted to be an actor when I was working in that shoe store. Similarly, I was working at one of those charity stores. Like, hi, my name's Damson Idris. I'm calling on behalf of the National Deaf Children's Society. Can I speak to Mrs. Smith, please? Oh, yes. So we're calling, we was wondering if you can give us £1 a month, da-da-da. Like, that's a script, you know? I'm learning all of this stuff, and it's all just factoring into today.
Did you ever sell any shoes to anyone cool during your time there?
That's a great question. There's a rapper called Scorcher who came in one time. That was a big deal. Scorcher was on Top Boy.
Oh, whoa. Okay.
Kano did something to him. Yeah. But those times are just humbling, you know? They're incredibly humbling. I would want everyone to go through that before they kind of dabble into what they want to do forever, you know?
Yeah. I've heard you once say that you don't like to look at your money that you're making. You like to give it like a month or two, and then you'll just pop in and check it every so often. Why do you do that?
Ego. I just, money is the root of all evil to me, and I just don't like to let it influence the way I move. There's so many people around me who let money influence the way they move. There's so many people who act out of character because of the money they have, and I don't want to be one of them people.
When you do open it up and take a look at it, do you have like a couple minutes to yourself where you in the crib like with a little bop in your step and then you lose it, or just thinking about, where you come from, thinking about the origins, 6 of you guys. And then you get to look in your Chase or your TD or whatever, and you see that. Does it make you feel a little?
There's a little something. There's a little, yeah. But again, kind of know Jay-Z. So I'm like, man, I need to get to work. But yeah, it's interesting, man. The concept of money, we're getting younger and younger and seeing more and more of it.
Yeah.
I think there needs to be classes for us to apply ourselves to treat it with respect and understand that everyone doesn't have it, so stop putting crazy expectations on everyone just off of what you see someone else has. Yeah.
I mean, it's been beautiful to watch your financial journey, though. I mean, the way you step in now is a lot different than,
chilling,
the
man.
way you used to step. You know what I'm saying?
I'm chilling. I'm humble. I might start rocking some trackies soon, too, though.
I would love that for you.
Yeah.
Because
Why?
you once said in an interview that you would like to see a day where people are wearing more suits and less tracksuits.
You know why I said that,
So why
man?
the change of tone?
It's just like, I look at those Renaissance pictures, man, like New York or even London, man, where black people, like, regardless of what social status we were, like, we were in the suits with hats and the ties, and we were buttoned up, that first image of Malcolm X and Spike Lee in X, when they're like, that stuff is fly to me. I think about the dandies in Congo, and I would love to bring that over to our world a bit. But yeah, to each his own. I could only influence who wants to be.
I would love for you to throw the tracksuit on, though. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Every now and then I will.
It's a nice little look,
To the eye pick, maybe.
Can you just explain the concept for those who aren't in the industry as to what Greenlight power is? If you say an actor has Greenlight power, what does that mean?
Greenlight power to me is an actor who can get a movie made, essentially. It's a really simple concept but is also one that is very political, because sometimes an actor could be more talented, but might not have the following, might not have the reach, and for that reason, someone looks the other way. It's happening less and less than back in the day, I will say. They're giving more people opportunities to come through and be stars. But yeah, it's very much something, and there is a list, and you got to go through that list first before you get to send that audition in.
Really? So is it like people that we know already, or?
Yeah. It's often people that you know already, people who have proven that they're box office successes or what.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Copy. So it's like The Rock or something like that. Like
Exactly.
people who.
It's all algorithm based, You could know how many fans you have in New York, how many fans you have in LA. They do it with sports today. I've seen a bunch of sports agencies do it too, where they're like, oh, this athlete is a bigger star than this athlete, and they're able to look at all of this data. They do that in acting too.
Really?
Yeah.
So there's like a sign, or I guess a numeric way that they decide what shows or movies they're going to greenlight versus not.
Yeah.
Huh. That is very interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah.
So then how can you...
Breakthrough.
How does one battle against statistics, Obviously, we're not in a meritocracy, so someone who's a great actor doesn't mean they're going to get a role, but then how does anyone break through if it's all numbers-based?
Just like sports, man, you got to sit on a bench and wait for someone to get injured, Wait for someone to not want to do it.
Mm.
Wait for someone to be tired. And then when you finally do come through, you better kill it.
Mm.
That's what I say to all young actors today.
So when there is a new role that's like a young black man, I imagine then, based on what you're saying, there's like a list of people like a pecking order, like, all right, it's going this person first, then they're gonna try, then they're gonna try, then they're gonna try. And you just have to try to work your way up the list? Is that
Exactly.
kind of how it works?
Exactly. That's exactly how it works in a nutshell.
So you must see a lot of the same people on auditions and
Well, it's not really like walking into a room anymore. You know,
it's
you're
like
not walking.
self-tapes or something.
You're not walking into the room and it's like, oh, there's all these superstars. Like, hey, like we don't do that anymore. Like, it's more so just like, you know, you have a meeting with a director or producer. You see if you vibe on a personal level. You might read and test on a separate day to someone else. You know, they give you that freedom and that respect. And then you just go from there. Sometimes you're just straight up offered a role. Sometimes a director or producer or studio has someone in mind and they're like, let's head out to that person. And if that person doesn't want to do it, okay, who are the other 5 people who we want to, like, that's how it works. Yeah.
Copy. Do you then feel, maybe not you personally, but just as a consensus in the industry, is it like frowned upon to not just be given a role outright? Because think about like a LeBron James or, you know, he ain't trying out for a team. They're just going to be up.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah.
You know, is it similar in the movie and TV industry?
I will say for me personally, and I probably should say this, but I do like it when I have to prove myself. If it's something where I feel like I'm doing them a favor, you know, and they have way more to gain than I do from being a part of it, then cool, yeah, offer it to me and I'll come and I'll play with you guys. But if it's like something where I feel like it's gonna push me to the next level, if they offered it to me, especially if it's a challenge, I want to be able to say to myself that, yo, I could do a South African accent, or I'm going to have the motivation to put on this weight, you know? I'm going to be focused enough to learn how to play this instrument. So yeah, to each his own. Speaking
of new roles, the next one, at least that I know of, is Swarm. That's a project with Donald Glover, Dominique Fishback. Malia Obama is in the writer's room for at least one of the episodes. How excited are you about this project?
Man, I've seen 3 episodes. Dominique Fishback is an absolute powerhouse. She's one of my favorite actresses. More people need to give her flowers. She's an extraordinary actress. Chloe Bailey's in it too.
Yeah.
Absolutely killing it. Donald directed the first episode, and we know. We know what Donald does. I wanted to be a part of the project, obviously to work with those 3 people, but also I wanted to be a part of the project because Donald hit me up and said, I want to give people that I love the opportunity to succeed or fail. And we don't ever get to do that. You know, there's always so much pressure because there's so little opportunities for us. So, you know, stepping on that set and getting to play with people that I admired was amazing. The story follows a young woman who has an infatuation with a pop star-like character. And yeah, there's loads of surprises, and I think it's going to be a fan favorite.
Who is someone you'd love to work alongside?
Daniel Kaluuya.
Well, first of all, he's been on the show.
Oh, brilliant.
Also, a fellow member of the DSS.
Yeah.
He CEO, you CEO?
I'm CEO. He's more like janitor.
Janitor. Wow.
I'm playing. That's my guy. No, man, we all fly together, and you know, the dark-skinned society is all about empowerment, and it's all about supporting each other in all forms, supporting everyone, and yeah, that's what we do.
I would love to see you and Daniel work alongside each other. That would be a special moment.
Be amazing.
I guess lastly, do you still have your economy boarding pass from your final audition of Snowfall?
I do, man. Last economy flight I ever took.
What does that mean to you?
I need to go sit in economy and humble myself. And I'll do that soon.
Will you actually?
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It's fine. Like, hey,
I mean,
hey, everyone.
It's been a while since you sat there. How many years?
You know what? I'm gassing right now. I flew economy from Trinidad. I just left Trinidad.
We just saw you in Trinidad like
Yeah.
a couple of days ago.
I flew economy from Trinidad to Miami because you know you got to do the connecting.
Sure.
I flew from Trini to Miami and then from Miami to LA. Whole thing economy.
The whole joint.
The whole thing.
Did anybody recognize you?
I feel like the lady sat near me, took a picture of me sleeping with my mouth open.
Like
That
nasty
picture's
mouth
coming
open?
out like drool. Like, she got me because when I woke up and like I looked at her phone and she was like, it was like on the camera bit. So that's probably gonna come out soon.
Well, look, it's better to get out in front of it now. No surprise.
There we go.
You've said it before it hit the net.
Exactly.
But what was the experience like? Seems like you slept through the flight, so.
I was in the exit seat.
All right, so still a slight step above.
Yeah, but no, I mean, you know, flying is flying. If we go down, we will go down.
Amen.
But yeah, man, that's kind of like my goal going forward, to do like some basic stuff, man, you know, to stay in some basic places, to eat in some basic places. That's the only way I'm gonna be able to connect to these people I'm trying to play. And that's something I tell everyone. No everyday Carbone, sometimes TGI.
I love that. Well, Damson, I appreciate you taking the time,
Bless you,
man.
man.
Season 6 of Snowfall is out now, the final season.
Yeah.
Swarm coming soon, and all the best, bro. Can't wait to see what's next.
God bless you.
Appreciate you, though. Peace, bro.